Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you notice the change in environment, I am in a hotel or in an inn basically, and I'm filming in the lobby. Look at me. There are currently three men and two women, but they're not really looking at me, so that's nice. My name is Stephanie Ejirike, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not new, thank you for clicking on another video. So this video is going to center on a pretty heavy topic that I just feel that has been on my mind for a while, mostly because it's been happening to me, to be honest. But it's been on my mind for a while, and I think we should talk about it. I'm going to be taking like pointers from my tab. So if you see me looking down, that's probably why, because if I don't arrange my thoughts, I'm going to go on rambling. I don't want this video to be too long and too deep and too boring. I'm going to be talking about grief. So in recent years, if you've noticed, people are dying. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. People are dying. Every day, people are dying. Every month, people are dying. Contrary to when we were younger, if you remember in social studies class or religious education, they'll teach us that when a person grows old, they will die. So all my mind was when I'm growing up was, okay, when my parents grow old, my grandparents grow old, when I grow old, I'll die. And old is always like 80, 90, sometimes 70 if I'm being real. But we've noticed that over the years it's been dropping lower and lower and lower. I recently just finished my degree, and in my study I used mortality rates. And mortality rate in Nigeria has been like 45, 50. I really can't remember the accurate figures. It's been a while. 45, 50, and just comes to show that like we've gone a long way, because if you look at like the Bible, people are living to like 200, 100. Right now people are living to 60, people are living to 70, and it's like a big accomplishment. My grandma is currently 90, turning 91 this year by the grace of God, and it's just so crazy how like she's lived so many lives. First of all, let's emphasize the fact that grief is a life-changing event. No matter how you want to put it, grief is a life-changing event. Life is a journey that is filled with various activities, challenges, events, and they shape how we look at life, our perspectives, our values, our thoughts, and significantly alters how we see things and see people. They really help us to grow, to adapt, and whether it's overcoming a sickness, losing a loved one, facing a major setback, individuals like to enjoy their life's simplest pleasures, like booking that trip or buying that bag, something that will lead to happiness, whether it be temporary or permanent, just something to make you happy, because like the famous saying goes, no one really knows tomorrow. Grief and loss are among the most profound life-changing events that can significantly impact one's view of life. Losing a loved one can trigger so many emotional turns in your life, like things you never knew you had. If you had anxiety, it will come out. If you have depression, it will come out. Like, you just begin to realize that there are a lot of things hidden within you. Over years, I've prided myself with someone that I don't show emotion very well. I obviously, like, apart from emotion of love, like loving my friends, I can't show negative emotions. I can't be angry for more than 10 minutes. I can't be pissed for more than 10 minutes. I can't be sad for more than 10 minutes. Like, it's like, I'm sad though, but like, I just can't show it. Like, for example, in uni, like, if I'll get a bad grade, I'll really be sad. I'll call my mom, I'll rant. I'll be always nearly to tears. But to actually fully experience the emotion, I could never feel it. Time after the call, I'm going out to go and buy a marita or going to go and drink slush, because not be Mickey Jesus. I just had that mentality. Last year, my uncle died. And I would say that is the closest death to me I've ever experienced. He died in Nigeria, because he doesn't live in Nigeria. He died in Nigeria. And I saw his body. I don't know why I did. I was my mom with her brother. I saw his body. And it looked the same. So I was just like, how is this man dead? Like, this man was fine. Like, how is he dead? I saw his body. It wasn't moving. It was lifeless. Obviously, it still looked full of life because it was barely hours. But it was lifeless. It was crazy to me. After that, I never really saw anything the same way again, because over the years I had Two of my grandfathers are both dead. One, I was a baby when he died. The other one, I was 14. I wasn't so close to him, so I really couldn't understand the gravity of what happened. When my uncle died, it just opened a big spiral for me. Like, I began to question life and question things. Things are not the same anymore. This year, I lost my friend. I wasn't in the country when he died. He died in August, September. Can't really remember. He died, and that was the first time I cried on the spot. Like, I've never cried on the spot before. Like, if something happens to me and I cry, it should have been an accumulation of different things. Like, maybe, oh, something happened. So, like, 10 things about not cry for everything at once. But the moment my friend told me like, this guy has left us, I cried on the spot. And mom was even shocked because she's never known me to cry on the spot before. Also, in this same year, on the lovely 1st of October, my cousin also passed. And what I felt was just why. I began to feel empty. I began to feel some kind of way like, what's. You begin to question life. So basically, what I'm just saying is that, like I said, death alters how you look at life, how you see life. Because honestly, sometimes you just think, what's the point? A saying by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. The reality is that you will grieve forever. You will never get over loss of a loved one. You will only learn to live with it. You will heal. You will rebuild yourself around the loss you have suffered. And that is the like truest statement ever. You cannot get over grief. I'm sorry, like no matter how hard you try, you can never really get over grief. You continue to think about them, they'll be your thoughts. So certain things you do, sometimes things you see, you just draw you back to them. For example, my friend that passed, we had a running joke. He was studying mechanical engineering, so I was calling him mechanic. So today I went out in London and I was in the store because it was Halloween period. I saw like a blue jumper, like the kind mechanics usually would wear. And I almost cried again because you just thought of him. Just learn to build your life around that person's loss, around that person's sorrow. Because really, what can you do? When people go through things, they begin to empathize better, sympathize better, begin to understand their mortality better, and begin to look different ways for them to cope. My biggest fears in this life are I'm afraid of heights. Like I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of failing, like not reaching my full potential. And I'm also afraid of death. My mom says because I'm a Christian, I'm not meant to be afraid of death. But I'm bloody afraid of death. Like I cannot imagine dying. Like obviously I won't I might not by the grace of God I won't know when I die. Because I don't believe that dying in your sleep is the best thing. But I'm afraid of death. Like I'm afraid that one day your life will just go. And especially because we don't know what is beyond. Christians believe that there is afterlife, heaven. If you're a good person, you should believe in God if you've done good deeds. People believe it's just space. People believe I believe it's Jannah. I'll cross check that. Just different things to put your mind forward to, but the fact of dying, like leaving your mortal body, because sometimes you just wonder that if there's something after this, why am I not working so hard? Why do my parents work so hard? Why do my cousins work so hard? My siblings, why is everybody working hard? Everybody's working hard to make that bag, go on that grind, get that bread, go on the next vacation, buy the next stuff, feel good. When there's really a life after, and this mortal plane is more or less nonsense. When struggling with grief, you have to remember that you can't do it alone. No matter how hard you try, you can't do it alone. And this is coming from Miss Independent herself. I'd rather scream and fall on the floor than tell someone I need help. Like, I'm really bad at asking for help sometimes. Especially with things that are important. Like, I can help for a little help, but like things that I know that I need help, I can't ask for help. So you need your community. You can't grieve alone. Be a family, be friends. I saw how my friends got together when we were grieving our friend. And it was just the most beautiful thing because I could not have imagined any one of us going through that loss alone. It was such a difficult time for all of us. And I just feel that being with friends and family is very important. As God will have it, I was on this side of town when my cousin passed. So I was with his wife, his children, his brothers, his sister. Everyone was with family, so nobody was alone. He stayed with my auntie for a while because my auntie's quite old and just needed to stay together because sometimes Sadly, death is what reminds you of some things that you've forgotten about in this life. The thing you can do when you want to grieve is remember that there is a higher life, there's a higher plane than what you are doing. If it's important to you, if you believe in God, if you believe in Allah, whatever you believe in, hold on to it strongly and let that be your support, let that be your anchor. Because sometimes human beings can't really help you. It's God you have to look to. Because growing older, I've begun to see God for myself. And I understand that without God, some things you just can't do. Like, it's not possible. Like, there's no way you're getting through it. Because when you rant to your friends, what next? You feel better, but the pain is still there. Your friends are beautiful, of course. They help you. They help you go through things. A problem half shared. What's that thing again? A problem half shared, a problem half solved, or is a room for just anyone you want to pick. But talking to God, He will most likely provide you a solution, and that's what you need: solutions. You can't be going around this life with half-assed problems. You actually need solutions. Another quote by Jamie Anderson says, "Grief, I've learned, is really just love. It's all the love you want to give, but you cannot. All that unspent love gathers up in the corners of your eyes, the lumps in your throat, and the hollow part of your chest. Grief is just love with no place to go." I have a blog, if you don't know. And on that blog, I wrote, this is actually the second part to that blog, if I'm being honest. Second part to that blog is the more vocal part, the more raw part. 'Cause obviously, when I write, I fact check, dictionary. This is me talking now. And this is like, if you read that, you will just see that I was talking like about how I felt, the physical pain you feel. Like I feel I start of pain. When there's heart, when you break your heart, you feel it. When someone close to you dies, you feel it in your chest, in your throat, in your eyes. You'll be having headaches. You can't sleep. Like you wake up at night and begin to cry. It's very similar to heartbreak, because actually it is heartbreak. If I'm being honest with you, it is heartbreak, because person has broken your heart, person is gone. Like, to meet another life by the grace of God, but person is gone and nothing you can do about it but grieve the person to yourself. Honestly, you cannot read that if you would like to. It's a nice read, in my opinion. I think that's actually the best work I've ever written, which is very crazy. And my best work out of sadness, but someone told me that sometimes it's just a rarest emotion at work. Many people believe in preserving the memories of what they've done or what the people they've lost stand for. When my uncle passed last year, he was known for his giving spirits, his understanding spirits. And that is something that I've noticed that his siblings have tried to emulate more in their own lives. When my friend passed, people began to highlight his spirit of belief. Like, he will believe in you, he will support you, he will push you. Personally, he did the same for me, so I can testify to that. He had a brand called Rock Boys, which his friends have chosen to carry on in his name, and that is his legacy forever. Like, that would definitely be his legacy. Like, when you see Rock Boys, you see Doobie. When you see Doobie is Rock Boys, like forever and ever. Like, he's Mr. Rock Boys, definitely. When my cousin passed, he was really big on Islam. He converted to Islam before he passed, and when on the day of his burial, I saw so many people, and then I was told that those are people he converted. Like, he brought so many people to Allah, which is really crazy for me, because like there were a lot of people. Like, there were actually a lot of people, and you just think that this man stood for something, and then his best friend was there, and he was distributing Qurans to everyone, and just be like, this man carried Allah on his head, and he has done Allah's work before he has passed. So that's definitely a legacy that's going to continue living on. So what you can do for yourself is revel in those moments, remember those times, and try to keep on the legacy. When it's time for you to grieve hard, cry, scream, shout, whatever you need to do, sleep, stay in bed. But don't say you will not grieve, because that thing, if it hits you, it can pain. God forbid you experience only untimely loss, but the reality of it is that in the end, we're all gonna die. It's very scary. Like, if I'm staying here, I'm just going to shit my pants, if I'm being honest with you. Because like I said, I'm so afraid of death. But it's just the reality of life. Just be very thankful for everything you can do. You wake up in the morning, you go to bed at night. If you go out in the night and come back, you give God the glory. Because some people don't make it back. or give whatever you or can the glory, because obviously it's not you. Just be thankful for the life you live and begin to embellish in these moments. So what do you do now? Live life to the fullest. That's actually been my mantra since everything happened to me. Live life to the fullest. Because every day people are dying. If you are very aware of what's going on now with the wars, children are dying. Children who have barely been like they've barely like their bodies have not developed, they're already dying. All in the name of war. Children are dying, adults, teenagers, whatever, they're all dying. And just the reality of it all. So just live life to the fullest. Embrace love. Don't let that guy kill you. Embrace love. I'm not saying I didn't say go and chop heartbreak in the name of living life to the fullest. No. Show people that you love them. Express to your friends that you love them. Express to your siblings that you love them. Your siblings may get on your net every now and then. But let them know that yes, you truly love them. There is one more thing I'm going to say before I end this video. Because I feel that upon everything, I still ended up rambling. Because sometimes you just can't follow liquid poco. You can't follow the school. You just have to speak your mind. A quote by Mahatma Gandhi which says, "There are no goodbyes for us. Wherever you are, you will always be in my heart." That's just it. I really hope you enjoyed this mini rant/video. If you've experienced grief before, my heart goes out to you. If you've experienced grief recently, my heart also goes out to you. You can talk about it in the comments. I don't know, people do that and it seems to help some people. Talk about it. How did you deal with it? How did you feel? What do you think people should do differently in life? And how do you think people should treat people after death? You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe if you feel like I'm not always this deep, let me just tell you. But I just feel something that I have to talk about because it's a recent happening, sadly, and it's just been happening. My mom says the last days. Well, who knows? See you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.